back to another episode of the Birdies podcast, episode 3. This week we have Zack Hanner, and as usual, Brandon, Sam, Jamie, and myself, Troy. We're going to get into it and just start with a little catch up with Zack. Tell us what's going on.
Conroy! Yeah. Well, since we premiered the film at the hall, I guess last time all of us together there was in Reidsville for the tournament at Penrose Park, and let's see,
legendary.
Yeah, man, that was a fantastic weekend, and if I'm planning on going back this year, and I'm gonna have some material prepped, and I'm not gonna get quite as lit beforehand because I saw some video of my stand up. Bad.
No one noticed.
No. Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm first, and nobody. It was hard to get the crowd calmed down. They were pretty lit as well. It's a good thing.
They were. We were all hammered. It was awesome.
I can include a clip of that here if you'd like, Zack.
Oh,
yeah, right. That's right.
Oh, we should. Not going to do me any favors, but sure. I'm happy to be.
Timmy refused to pull you off.
Dude, you're a fucking legend, dude. You're a legend. I wouldn't apologize for anything. That was legendary.
Pretty fun. I got to debut all my "Man, fuck you" material about my teenage kid, and that being my new catchphrase. And then a few weeks ago, I just closed out a play at Thalian Hall that I directed and acted in called High Voter Turnout. It's a collaboration with a local author named Celia Rivenbark. She's kind of a Southern humorist. She's definitely edgy. She doesn't mind throwing an F-bomb. Let's see. I'm playing in 4 bands now. I've had my Hawaiian band, the Howleys, for 20 years now. This is our 20th anniversary. Playing with a guy from Asheville named Billy Cardine, who's a world-class dobro player, doing more instrumental Hawaiian stuff. Still in the Irish band, the Blarney Brogues, playing with a surf rock band, the Swellians. You guys know me. I got like 5 hustles going on at one time, and that's how I keep the flexibility to take a month off to do a movie like Birdies. So I've got a couple of film and TV gigs since then. I worked on a show called Tales of the Walking Dead down in Atlanta, which is pretty cool. I'll be in the upcoming season of The Summer I Turned Pretty. But yeah, I've been busy, man, and it's been fun. My son just graduated high school, and I haven't been playing golf, unfortunately, so I'll have to get my clubs out for the tournament coming up. But so maybe I should tell that story, Troy.
We'll get into that.
So when y'all giving me the month or so before, I bought a set of clubs and going to the range and trying to make it look like I could at least swing one properly and give you at least a couple of shots. Speaking of Troy, that one shot that I hit in the movie, did you fix that, or did I actually hit it straight?
No, you hit it.
It was a decent shot, but we made it better.
Yeah, okay.
Troy, come on, man. Just give it to him.
It was the very last one that I did too. I was like, if you got time, could you just straighten out this drive? It's no big deal because it wasn't a bad shot.
Yeah, it went a little bit this way, but it was a great shot. I mean, but he straightened it out for you.
Yeah, you had a good cut, or you had a good.
You just broke his heart, Troy. You just broke his heart.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hey,
I had terrible technique and bad hat. But so anyway, we both hit our approaches, and Brandon, and again, this is on me, but Brandon should not have been on the green while I was pitching, to be honest. But I figured I tapped this thing and lofted up there onto the fringe, and I hit it square right at his head, and all I could get out was ah! And he turned and dropped to the ground, and it missed him by maybe half a foot. And my heart was like, I could see the headlines now. Hunter kills producer before filming begins in the local indie film. And,
that golf ball was it was almost in my face, and I twisted and hit the ground. It didn't hit my face, and everything was fine. But then after we got to the next 2 or 3 holes, I was like, my knee is burning. And then two years later, still got a little burn, but it's worth it.
And he didn't tell me.
But now it's carpet burn.
Carpet burn? Turf burn?
Yeah. you and
Yeah, so
Evan and Gary on the driving range. But so he didn't tell me about it until we were, a couple of weeks into shooting because he didn't want me to feel bad, but I did feel bad. So, I'm sorry.
yeah, Troy remembers
You could.
the first couple of days of getting there. I was helping Troy take some sandbags up, and I'm like, got about halfway. And I'm like, I got this burn, man. It's from that whole incident we had a few weeks ago, and I just had to limit myself to carrying a few things, even though we busted ass, all of us. But it was a burn.
That's another thing that I wanted to point out and compliment you guys on too. We were talking about having a lower budget and not having those heads over your shoulder trying to get you to do X, Y, and Z. But the inverse of that is, what is it? 3 of your producers were on camera too, 4 of them, and so
3.
Yeah. So
well, all of us at one point.
Right, and I was lucky because it was pretty leisurely for me. The days were long, but I was never like, I was having so much fun. I didn't care, and everybody chipped in. It wasn't like one of those things too, where it's like, don't touch that sandbag. You're not that department or whatever. But the fact that you guys were like, holding a boom mic for one scene, and then the camera turns around and you're acting. That you'll see that. And y'all are also good natured about it. And I know the days were long and hard, and y'all were worn out and stuff. But again, it's part of that esprit de corps that makes a little movie like this so special. And one of the
it was so much fun. It was so much fun to make.
And if
so much fun.
Yeah. When we do a sequel and have a little more money, we hopefully we will not have the people you're talking about over our shoulders, but we'll have a few extra hands to help us. That's what we want.
Because it's producer, you got a lot of other things to worry about. I mean, Brandon got everybody in the surrounding area to bring food over. Brandon, you are like the mayor of the Burgal, that whole Pender area up there. And it's really nice because, again, your intentions were good. And those people knew that this is something you're passionate about, and they wanted to support you and us. And, it's not a little thing to cater for a crew of 15 to 20 people, but a lot of people showed up and helped out. And that's kind of beautiful thing. People get excited about, hey, these guys are making a little, scrappy indie movie about golf, and I'm happy to give you sandwiches for a day. So to illustrate for the listeners the low budget nature of this thing. Again, I don't think this movie happens if you don't get a free golf course for a month. Charlie Conroy. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Free golf course.
Well, we put the owner of the golf club in the movie to get the other one. I'm just kidding. Jake was great.
And we fired him.
Yeah,
we fired him from his own golf course.
That was nice. That's that was nice for them to even just let us to squeeze us in at all on that, because
he's amazing, and he's a new father too, Troy. You know that, but
Jerry.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have one course is like just went under, and someone bought it and just starting to fix it up to give it to us free, and then we go to a course that's badass and successful, which Ironclad is awesome now, and they're kicking ass with their tacos and their pickleball and their cornhole, and they
awesome.
Families. They have families and dogs, and just there's hundreds of people out there. I talk about every podcast, but I'm just saying it is a great place. Yeah. So Ironclad Golf
for normal people.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's
not necessarily for families though, but theirs is.
Well,
yeah.
That's the thing that I encountered as a kid playing at golf in middle school and high school, and everybody was kind of like got their shit stick, and people complaining about. This is a good story. I was like 16, and this guy comes right by in a car, and he's like, "You're not wearing a collared shirt. You need to respect the game more." And I was like, "And you probably shouldn't be gambling away your family's money in the locker room every evening, but here we are." And he turned red and drove off, and my buddy were like, "Oh my god, but fuck you! You didn't talk to me like that. They don't give a shit about a collared shirt. It's summertime. I'm hot."
Man, fuck you.
Yeah, right. But so to illustrate,
Respect the game. You just took a piss on the tee box, 2 minutes ago.
well, our base camp though is the clubhouse, which is ripped down to the studs. No AC. We got fans going on, and it's getting ready to get hot. And I don't think I ever heard a single person complain, because again, it was the vibe was good. No one ever yelled on this film. If they did, I didn't hear it. And that big time.
No, Troy yelled at me one time, but only once.
Well, it was. I got short with you.
Well, Jamie came in.
What'd you call me? What'd you call me?
Jamie came in late to Beau Rivage, and like everyone had coffees, and then Jamie's late and shows up with a coffee, and Troy was like, "You could have at least brought me a coffee." I remember that was.
Well,
hey, you know what I did? Dude, I just left their little thing. I ran downstairs to the bar at Beau Rivage, had like 2 coffees made, and I ran them up to Troy while they had their little thing going on. So, producer.
Here it is. You want a coffee? I was like, no, I wanted Jamie to get me a coffee.
Oh, you want
If he can make it to Dunkin' Donuts for himself, he can make it for everybody.
Yeah.
And it was like the last week. It was like the last couple of days too.
Yeah.
So we were all tired. It was
Oh,
awesome.
That's the worst thing that happened during a month-long shoot, dude. I mean,
And we're still friends. And we're still
Hey,
friends.
I'm still upset about it, to be honest. I'm still.
I apologized that day. I think I'm like, dude, sorry. I feel like I was like, man, I immediately regretted it because I didn't want you to get in your head before your scene.
Oh, that's true. I did shoot. I did shoot like right at that, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
It was at the douchebags at Beau Rivage, Magnolia Point.
Yeah. And you're supposed to be the biggest douche of them all, and there I just came down. Yeah, hey, it turned out, but that was as bad as it got. And there was only one other time where somebody yelled, and it was just because proximity. Sam was at the putting. It was at the putting green and yelled up to the balcony, "Hey, somebody bring a!" I was like, Sam, come on. Use a walkie-talkie. So it was very much a thing. We don't want any yelling. We all want to just chill, But that was as bad as it got. Those 2 things, and that was like, everything else just fell into place.
It was a dream, dude. The whole process was a dream.
And Jamie, you're the furthest thing from a douchebag. But I think if you add frosted tips and a visor to any dude, it's pretty much that.
Hey, both of those were my idea, by the way. Both of those.
You brought that to the table.
It worked.
And you're a good golfer, too.
I was like, I'm wearing a visor, and I'm a week into the shooting, and I credit you too, Conroy, because I was watching you. I didn't shoot the first week. I was just crew. And you guys set such a unique universe, and I saw what was being made from a unique perspective as an actor, because most of the time when we're not acting, we're in backstage somewhere. But I was watching the universe be created, so I was like, Troy, I'm dyeing my hair bleach blonde, like really blonde. Are you okay with it? And he looked at me and he was like, yeah, I like it.
Mustang convertible for the scene when the golf ball goes into the windshield.
I bought that car just for this movie.
And kept it.
Another hilarious story. I bring in the wrist rocket to try to do the golf ball thing safely, and I think it fell out of the strap or something, and just kind of bounced off the top of it. I forget how we ended up breaking the window.
Yeah,
but
the only thing that worked is just breaking into the motherfucker.
Yeah, it was broken in the edit. I think here's what happened is that the slingshot was a marble, and I used it but had to enhance it because it wasn't that big of a break. And so it wasn't so funny. But yeah, I remember Zach. I think it's even in the footage. And Zach's like, I'm standing in the back here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to stand back here and record on my phone for insurance purposes.
I can think of at least a couple of times people put their hand out in front of the golf ball from hitting. I don't know if anybody's hand never got hit. But
that was CGI.
Right. But the day of the tournament.
That's not making the edit. It's not making the edit, Conroy.
But I'm excited because it's our first day of doing big scenes, and y'all had been there the day before, talking with people at the driving range to try to get extras to come out, and then everybody's calling their friends and saying, "Hey, come be an extra in this movie." And I think would you have 25, 30 people maybe total walking around that day?
Maybe
in addition to the cast, in addition to like the regular, I think it was like 40 people maybe total. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Of course, the scene hinges on the fact that we have a fellow that's a minority character who goes to Magnolia Point and gets turned away because he's not the right color, and then he comes to Twin Pines, and we're like, heck yeah, man, whatever, join up. We like everybody, and your actor didn't show up that day, and then we get Ray Batty, the lifesaver, who had been there the day before with his son, Alec, who I actually have been going back and forth with his trying to make some movies and stuff and connected him with people at Cucaloris. But so Ray, y'all went up to him and said, "Hey, can you play this role? You got 2 more scenes to shoot, just a couple of lines." And he was like, "Sure, absolutely." And then, of course, he was a ringer because he was a golf coach at Cape Fear Academy, and so he saved our butt that day because I don't know what we would have done otherwise with all that stuff in play.
He was just going to be an extra, and he showed up. That's when we asked him, "You want to be in it?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm here to be an extra." Like, nah.
No. I talked to him on the force.
Yeah,
I talked to Ray on the force,
the day before.
and
We were all out there.
yeah, he had to wait to go while we finished shooting a shot on the green. And so I was talking to him, and he told me that his son's super into filmmaking, and can he come watch? And I was like, dude, we need people to come. Please bring him. So that's why he was there, because his son's a filmmaker who's working all the time right now. He's doing his own stuff.
Yeah, and he got there. He became from an extra to sticking with us for another week or so. He worked like 5 to 6, 7 more days with us here and there.
Yeah. And he was totally stoked.
Yeah.
And so that we can stick on the Ray theme here. I got 2 other, well, the ones that we all know, but I remember talking to him and saying, "Hey man, if you need to, I know you work at Cape Fear Academy." He comes in and we're like, "You want to be on our team to beat those douches over at Magnolia Point?" And his line is, "Fuck yeah." And I was like, I know you work at Cape Fear. Maybe, they might be able to change it if you don't feel comfortable saying it. And he was like, "Bro, they ain't never firing me. I'm the only black person that works there," which is not true. But at the same time, I mean, I felt like he held some cards. He was the basketball coach, women's basketball coach there too, and just a genuine sweetheart of a guy. But then, of course,
beautiful human being.
I made that same joke. I made that same joke to him as well. I said, "Dude, man, you're dropping the F-bombs and flicking people off and this and that." I said, what's gonna, you're at a private school. He goes, "I'm ready to retire anyways." So,
He is. He's retired now. Yeah.
Retired, but he was like, "I'm ready to retire anyways." And I was like, "Shit, all right, cool." Plus, you might get a lawsuit if they try to fire you for saying "fuck off" or something,
Yeah,
well,
man. No,
he ended up being the ROTC drill sergeant to my cousin, who's like younger than me. It's like my cousin's cousin because I'm older.
Yeah, he did.
But
he's a Army vet, I think, and then he was the female basketball coach at Hoggard, and then he was the coach at the private.
He worked with the community all the time. Like he's a really good dude.
Yeah, good solid person for sure. But the funniest thing,
And saved our ass for sure.
So he saves our ass at the tournament. He comes back and does a great job in the second scene where we bring him on, that we shot later. And then we're there for the final scene where, Devin and those guys are laying around naked, having had their orgy. And we're all kind of walking up on the scene, and Ray goes, "What a mess." And Ray just out of nowhere goes, "White people."
Yeah.
Which made me love it so much.
I was so happy that we've been doing this for a while because everybody held and didn't laugh until they cut, because I was like, "Oh my God, do that 2 more times, bro! You just changed the movie."
He asked me about it because I'm standing there with him in the scene, and he's like, Brandon, I just feel like I need to say something right here. Like everyone else says this and that. And I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I'll throw something at you. I'll poke the guy and say blah, blah, blah. He's like, you think I can just say white people? And I was like, and we didn't even tell you guys he was going to do it. So we went and lit the action, and he said white people.
It's good.
So
awesome.
So good.
So perfect.
It's so good. Hey, he also had to do ADR work. He had to come to my house too to do ADR, and he killed it too. Like, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of a natural personality for sure. But what I loved about that line, and I think I may have told all of you about it, I felt it absolved us of anything inappropriate, stupid that we might have done that might have offended someone before, because this dude just comes out and goes, yeah, man, it's white people. Right? And that shit was so funny. I've seen him times since then. I've seen him actually. I live by the Muni here, and I've seen him at the municipal golf course. And I bragged on him to his buddies. I was like, this guy just out of nowhere improving a perfect line. His first movie.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Birdie's magic, right?
Definitely our
Birdie's
biggest and best miracle was Ray.
Troy and Brandon, you should tell your story about Troy almost getting killed during that driving range scene the same day, right?
Yeah, that was the day where everything was going crazy. We had all the people, the most people, and I was the most nervous because it was like we had the most to do, the most people, the least amount of crew. And I think one of the opening shots is like when we did the slow motion on the driving range of everybody teeing off, you know, and Brandon was driving me with the camera. Like I was like in the driver's seat, but Brandon was driving from the passenger seat.
Yeah, I was hooking it.
And I was just, you know, cruising past, and I was like, okay, I'm going to just make sure that I'm well past when you decide to crank this drive, everybody. So everybody shoots it straight. And then, of course, Brandon Noel, like, hits it right on the heel. And that thing, I mean, it was sculled. It was a dart, and it went, like, right past my head of our moving golf cart. If Brandon had been, like, you know, one more foot ahead of where we were, that would have been it. That would have been end of movie, end of Troy. So I was shook. I was shook after that.
Just to show you how close it was, the golf ball came between, got to get my hands right, it came between the railing and the camera. Like,
yeah.
The bracket that holds the top of the golf cart up is only like 3 feet in front of you. The camera's already a foot out. It came between it. It came through our golf cart.
And I
while the car was moving.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought I was being pretty conscious and trying to be safe, even when it looked like I was like when I strapped myself in with that old ratchet strap on a different shot, even like that looked janky, but I knew I felt secure. And I felt like there wasn't really much that we did that was unsafe until people started hitting golf balls. And that's why at one moment I said, no more of this teeing off, because Brandon Noel was doing it a bunch, but that everybody wanted to hit balls. And you're at a golf driving range, and it was fun. There was another one where I almost got hit by Nate. He was chipping on the driving range and just got a hold of it. And like I was 100 yards away, but somehow I was like,
I remember that.
That was over at the little practice area to the right.
The practice game that doesn't exist. Yeah.
Yeah, that was scary. That was more scary.
Hey, and on the next one, we'll just make sure to be as safe as possible, even though we thought we were being super safe.
But the reason is because we all really suck at golf.
And the sad thing is that you're the best of all of us.
Yeah,
I know.
Well, Reed might not like to hear that. So,
hey, Reed's not here. So
but my swing is prettier.
You have a pretty swing. Yeah, you have a really nice swing, and I always attribute that to your counterbalance, because you're like a triple beam. You're like a telescoping camera arm. It's like the balance is all in the gut. That's a good one to wrap it up on too. We got a good episode in the books now, and I appreciate you coming and hanging out, Zach. Good catching up. We will see you August 26th or the 25th. So we got the comedy show at Penrose Park Country Club, August 25th, followed by the tournament the next day.
You should plan on doing
Because those motherfuckers party.
Yes.
Do a live podcast before the
We'll do it all.
Mad
We'll do this whole StreamYard thing for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to do it from the tournament.
That was a really good vibe too. There, you know, I hadn't been to that town ever, and never been to a golf course that was only 9 holes. That you just went around and rearranged the tees. But it was really super fun, and everybody that we met there was really nice. And
It's a good place.
Yeah,
Very good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Awesome
guys.
vibe. Yeah, so we'll see you there on the August 25th and 26th. And anybody who wants to sign up, go to birdiesthemovie.com. Come play in our tournament, and we'll have more coming after that.
Can I plug my company real quick?
Absolutely. Yeah. I was hoping you would earlier.
I'm the owner and Elevate natural hemp products. We have all kinds of delicious edibles, vapes, and we also have a water-soluble THC, which is like I describe it like a heavy cocktail. It takes effect in 10 to 15 minutes, and it only lasts about an hour and a half. So we're selling those things at Death Row Comedy all summer long.
And a website? You have a website you can order from?
Elevate. It is Elevate, ELEV number 8. So look up Elevate. It's Elevate number 8 NC.
Elevate with an 8.
That's correct.
NC.
Elevate.
I'll put it up on the screen.
Come to the golf tournament. It will make the afternoon much better when we stop.
Yeah. Oh,
Absolutely.
hey, just to let you guys know, Reed just hit us up and said, "Oh man, I thought it was Wednesday we were doing it."
We will never get this right.
No. That's okay. We lost Sam, and then Reed's just not even. He thought it was.
There's always a casualty.
Yeah. My wife never separate Reed from his character in the movie, mostly because that friend of his brought those 2 hookers over here, and then Reed met this girl for 3 seconds, and they're making out on my patio during the party.
Yeah.
There's very little separation.
Reed is also a legend.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get him on the next episode if he doesn't think it's a Wednesday and he's here on a Monday.
Hey Troy, can you superimpose that sticker of Reed that I sent you today?
Yeah.
Where did you find that? Did you find us? He found a trash can of Reed's face. Was it a trash can?
Randomly out there. His friends put him around town. Yeah. Zach, I really appreciate it. Jamie, Brandon.
Guys, look forward to seeing you soon. Jamie, hit me up, man. I'm at the comedy club every weekend.
Yeah.
I'm down, man. I'm here all summer, so.
You guys got to get together and shoot some content. Shoot some birds.
We need to.
I'm down.
We'll get it. We'll line it up.
All right, y'all. All right. Have a great rest of your week. Love y'all so much. Hope you say it back someday.
I'm leaving. See you guys.